I mean, like my thing is this: like you're a top quarterback in the draft. Like I mentioned this before. I don't think this draft is really quarterback top heavy. Um, I'm not thrilled about Shador Sanders. I'm not thrilled about Cam Ward. Spencer Beck is poo poo. Um, like I don't see any top quarterback like Lilly in this draft that says, "Hey, this is a generational quarterback." Um, but I could be wrong, and a lot of times I am wrong, right? Um, but for him just to break the record and then just like I don't know if it was quit on the team. It was definitely selfish for him to get 156, the most for Division One record, um, and then sit out the second half. I'm not going to judge the guy and say he shouldn't do this, but it is not a good look for him to just sit out the second half and say, "Hey, look, you don't get injured." Um, I don't know if he talked with the coach beforehand. I don't know if he talked with a coach beforehand and they had questions about, hey, this is what he's going to do. You know, we don't know. But when I'm reading the article right now, it looks like he wanted to get the record and then bring the other guy in. Uh, Mario Cristobal is asked about decision. This is what he said. All meetings with players and decisions like that, we made them in private. We keep them private. So I prefer not to answer the question as it relates to that, but I know he played his best while he was in there. Um, Social media went in a frenzy. See, I don't know if this is something that Cam Ward said. Hey, look, um, I want the record, but I'm also don't want to get hurt. As a coach, you have to say, hey, look. I know you want the record, but look, I want the ball game is what I'm getting graded on. Like he's getting graded on the bowl game. Um, and I mean, does it hurt his stock? And I think that you say, well, it was a bowl game, really didn't matter. He sat out. You know, even Cristobal said, I think Cam's DNA, his upbringing, everything he is made of, and stands for the right kind of stuff. That's stuff you want your team made of. He's had some tremendous impact on our community and team, program and alumni. I don't know. This is backwards. Um, you know, I don't know if it's a conversation that they had before. Breaking the conversation they had before. Um, you know, Dylan Gabriel is at 150. I mean, Dylan Gabriel did play 6 seasons of football. And I think Cam Ward has well too. He's at 153. Um, he could break the. Yes, they say he can break the record in the college football playoff. Uh, but I mean, is it worth it? Like, I mean, I think as a NFL coach, I'm thinking, or a scout, I'm thinking like it's deeper than just him quitting. It's more along the lines of when the going, like how much of an individual is he? Um, is he aware of what he did and the impact that he had? Like that's the big question. Like, are you? Because you can't say a guy's selfish. You don't know what conversation they had. You can't say that he's not a competitor. Um, but is he aware of what he did? And that's the big question we have to ask. Also, him standing in the pocket and throwing that ball, like not setting your feet, being like these kind of subtle glimpse of arrogance that he shows could be a turnoff for coaches. Um, and I say that because in the NFL, you're not going to be able to just improvise. And I'll like this: you have to be able to throw in the pocket. And improvision is your go-to when things break down and fail. Now, improvision doesn't have to be the first thing you go to. Improvision can be won by moving your feet in the pocket, getting your protections right, and getting rid of the ball quicker, right? These are things that can be, and just watching film. And improvision can be a last resort. This is why I say Josh Allen just immediately goes to improvision as opposed to really winning with his mind. Cam Ward has to be able to win with his mind and not just sit in that pocket and think, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this in the league. So I think it's more the awareness of what he's doing that's the big issue, as opposed to trying to figure out, oh, he's selfish, this, that. But the awareness is the big thing. And I think that's one thing we have to take consideration as opposed to saying, oh, well, he's a selfish player. He just sat out. So these are things I'm thinking about. I'm looking at in the situation, and we don't know what conversation Cam Ward had with his coaches.